If you think that your relationships are automatic, your relationships are good to go, I think we actually need to put in some work. All right, this one's going to be fun. It's Wednesday, Worth It Wednesday, June 26, 2024. I want to welcome you into the Uncharted Way community. And we are putting in the future work day by day to make uncharted progress in every direction of our life. And if you think that that is not possible, unrealistic, crazy talk, then just stick around. It's going to be a fun ride. Today, I wanted to share some thoughts about your relationships. And so we're going to put in some work. One of the ways that I've been just showing up is throughout the month, aiming for a series of strategic conversations. They remind me of what's important. They remind me of what to focus on. It helps me to lead myself and stay future focused. And it helps me to even categorize things that I've been learning for a broader audience. So you've got things like Mountain Monday, Take Ground Tuesday, Worth It Wednesday, Breakthrough Thursday, and Future Friday. Now I do have the weekend, but I want to focus right now on what do all these names mean? Why are they important? Why do they matter? And I kind of see them right now at this stage of our community as the core values of the Uncharted Way. These are like best practices that you're going to have to do again and again and again. So for example, Mountain Monday is the idea that you have to work on your life more than your job. You have to work on your future more than your day to day. You have to work on your business more than the tasks in it. It's this idea of constantly waiting on the Lord so that way you can have instruction to put your life in order. And that comes from a wonderful Bible study that I've already shared from Exodus 24, this invitation where God invites Moses and Joshua up to the mountain, right? And I don't know that it happened on a Monday, but that was the imagery that I ran with. That Monday is that opportunity in the week to start your week with the strategic work. Don't just get pulled into the ruts and the weeds, but really be intentional. And so there's actually like a whole conversation, there's a whole thing that gets unpacked when we are in that space of Mountain Mondays. And it's amazing. And so I love having Mountain Monday sessions because you kind of get a different side of the Uncharted Way community. You'll get encouragement. You'll get some sort of Bible study. You'll get a time of prayer. And it's meant to give you motivation to do the bigger projects. It's meant to build your motivation and build your sense of confidence that you can do this and that now's the time to go for it. In addition, we've got Take Ground Tuesday. And that is the reminder that we need to be productive and making progress in our roles and goals. And again, we get that temptation, right? To be very reactionary. And we wake up in the morning and we open our emails immediately, or we open up social media, or we just kind of fall into everybody else's stuff, agendas, emergencies, obligations. And we need to be intentionally focused on our progress because we want to lead by example. You can go the entire year being busy and end up more burdened than you started, end up more bothered by other people. And you look back and you say, what about the goals that I had for this year? And then you kind of write off goal achievement and say that doesn't work and that's not for me. And you basically spiritualize your idleness. You spiritualize distraction and you justify, goals are not useful when actually there's a resonant desire inside of you that is constantly trying to get you to aspire to do more with your life. And that's not out of restlessness, that's out of responsiveness to the grace of God, that there is great passion and great potential for you, but you got to go for it. And so I have a whole different space, a whole different conversation that I love to share with this community. And we talk a lot about time mapping, which is different than time management, intentionality and designing your life, and dreaming with the Lord about goals and projects that you can take on in a reverse engineered and then pioneered way. So first you start with the end in mind, you reverse engineer it, then you pioneer it. I love talking about productivity and goal achievement in particular. Those are just helpful phrases that people can latch onto. But productivity and goal achievement will help you make real uncharted progress in every direction of your life. Hopefully you're seeing different sides of this community, and you're seeing different categories that we can be building and unpacking over time. Then that brings us to Worth It Wednesday, which I'm going to skip for just a second. We go to Breakthrough Thursday, which is a constant reminder every week. Do not surrender your work week until you get your OTD done. You're 1 till done. There's got to be something that you say, this is the week. We're in week 26 right now. Week 26, I'm going to fill in the blank. You make a personal intention, a personal commitment, you go for it. And so many times, you start feeling the wear and tear of the week. You're sliding into the weekend. You want to let go. You want to stop early. And you have to learn how to press through, how to really keep going. And what I have found is when you hit your limit of what you feel is convenient or what you feel you're capable of, and you actually do that training and you push yourself and you stretch yourself and you go the extra mile, you actually hit breakthroughs. There are real strategic breakthroughs waiting for you on the other side of that mindset. That's something we have to practice. So it's not just mindset, but a lot of it is thinking about where are the real roadblocks in your way, north, south, east, and west. And then let's target the challenges and do some pioneer problem solving, so to speak, together. So I share a lot about ways to stay engaged. I talk a lot about encouragement, talk a lot about gratitude, talk about creativity, innovation. We talk about strategy. There's different ways that you and I can continue in a direction long enough, strong enough until we experience the breakthrough. And it's not necessarily that it's something that we can take credit for. I'm not trying to take credit for all the ideas I get, but I definitely want to take advantage of them when I'm trusted with a breakthrough thought. We move on to Future Friday, which I love doing. It's a totally different side of this community. It's a really important part. It's being future focused. It's staying open for the future to show up in your present. There's another Bible study that goes really into each one of these, but I think it's important that we practice preparation, not procrastination. And so there's a built-in routine or system that I like to practice on Fridays that help me think ahead and prepare to go there. No pun intended. That's kind of the framework I'm using just to create content and offer encouraging value here. But I'm going to keep leveling up. This is just something that I can sustain for the next few weeks. And then as this community grows, I imagine we're actually going to be showing up in these spaces, working on these different areas. But what about Wednesday? Well, actually, Wednesday was the last theme that I came up with. And I'm waiting on Wednesday. And it's like, man, what's Wednesday going to be? Work Wednesday. That's obvious. I'm like, man, there's got to be something that's more motivational, that reminds me, inspires me, that I need to really go for it. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, I get it. Worth It Wednesday. So Worth It Wednesday is the reminder that we need to keep putting in the relational work. Another way I say it is relational maintenance. To use a word picture, imagine that you're driving your car and the engine light comes on. And so you need to service your car. You're not quite sure what needs to get repaired. It might be something little. It might be something big. Nowadays, cars are really cool. They give you like a little code on the dash. You can look it up. You kind of see a little bit more specificity what's going on under the hood. But regardless, you now have been put on notice and you have a window of opportunity. Get it diagnosed, get a plan to repair it, get it back on the road so you can keep going. If we neglect that dashboard, if we neglect those signs, the warning signs, the helpful heads up, hey, there's something under the hood. You need to repair. You need to check in on this. You need an inspection. You need some intervention here. You can actually keep driving the car for a while and it seems like nothing has changed, nothing's fallen apart, you're still moving. And if you push it too far, too long, you could actually be in a really, really dangerous situation. You could be driving on the highway full speed. You could have cars and 18-wheelers, big trucks passing you on every side. You could lose control of the wheel, and that would put you in a very dangerous situation, and your safety is at risk, the safety of those around you. Talking about loss of life, loss of property. I mean, it could get really ugly really fast. And after everybody rushes to help, rushes to your aid, the reality is it probably could have been prevented. We cannot ignore the things that need our attention, our intervention. It would be so easy to pull the car off the road, schedule the appointment, drive to a designated location where trained people who hopefully value customer service will help you, work with you to resolve the issue. Instead, people take matters into their own hands, or they try to avoid the situation altogether, and they do nothing, or they don't do enough, or they do something that kind of puts duct tape on the situation temporarily, but it doesn't really go deep enough. It doesn't really address the latent issues that have a potential caution with them. The choice is simple. Do you want to do relational maintenance in a scheduled, intentional way, or are you going to roll the dice and risk a blowout, an emergency on the highway? So many times we honestly just neglect our key relationships and we let them keep going without any ongoing maintenance. If you think that your relationships are automatic, your relationships are good to go, I think we actually need to put in some work. If we do not slow down and do relational maintenance from time to time, we're putting some really valuable people and some really valuable partnerships at risk. And I don't want to do that. I want to be aware and responsive so that way I can continue strong, healthy relationships going into the future.